Hi everyone, Photo Pro Traveller here. Welcome back to the channel. Let me explain what we're going to be in for today, and that is a review or a comparison, if you like, of the Nikon 14-30 f4, a lens I have been shooting for about a year now, against the new edition from Nikon, the 14-24 f2.8. Really excited about this lens. In fact, it's just arrived, about to give it an unboxing. And then we're going to take it outside and we're going to give it a comparison. I'm going to try and shoot some test shots with the 14-30 f4 compared to the newer, and I must say, significantly more expensive f2.8. But before we get into that, a little about what I've been up to. It's been a little while. It's been a minute since I've posted a video. Frankly, I don't need to get into 2020. It's been quite a year for everyone. But obviously for someone like me that my photography is basically around my travels and going to places, it's kind of been a lean year in that department. There are some things that I've been working on in the background, but to be honest, motivation's been epically low. Having said all that, it's the end of 2020. Everyone's excited about that. I'm sure you are as well. Without any further ado, let's get straight into the unboxing. One of my favorite things to do. So here we are. I mean, straight off the bat, you can see this is the old F4 box. There is portent of things to come given the size of this. So let's give them open. We have the usual warranty information, world's cheapest lens cloth. We'll be using that. Let's get into, okay, now it's quite light. Okay, I know what this is. I've been reading about this, so quite a smart sort of move by Nikon here. What they've actually done, considering that the old 14-24 f2.8 in the F series glass had quite a bulbous front element, which made it exceptionally difficult to put a filter on there. Now I like to shoot with ND filters when it's nice and bright and want to shoot wide open. So what Nikon's done is given you an option. Wow, look at the size of that lens cap. And this is what it goes with. So what they've done is given you an option of an extremely large 112mm filter that you can screw onto the front of this, and then you get the world's largest lens cap, which actually goes some way over the entire unit. That's really smart because they actually also give you, and it's probably attached to the lens, that's the smaller lens hood that would go with the lens, obviously, if you're not shooting with a filter on it. So I think that's quite smart. It solved the problem that with the old lenses, you couldn't put a filter on the front, you had to put one on the back. That was kind of difficult. Let's get into the lens proper and see how it lines up next to its, I guess, little brother. Don't drop the lens. Okay, here we are. Wow. It is a thing of beauty. All of the Z series lenses, the more professional grade, the 24-70, which I'm shooting on at the moment, and this, the 14-24 2.8, they just look great. They're nice and well put together. Not to say the 14-30 f4 isn't, but this one, of course, had that kind of annoying clickable mechanism. This wholly internal zoom, which I like, and something I read about there, the lens cap only goes on in the one direction. Kind of hard to work out. So pretty keen to get this outside. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take both lenses, I'm going to put them on my Z7. I'm going to try as best I can to take the same shot with both lenses at f4 for both lenses, and then again I'll show you the same shot at f2.8 on the new glass. And really what I'm trying to do here is see that does the new lens justify the hefty price tag over the older lens. Now, I've really enjoyed shooting with this lens this year, probably more than I expected I would. There is really quite something to shooting wide open at 14 or even 12 if you've got it. So I've really enjoyed it, and I'm keen to see how this will match up against this. I mean, in terms of cost, in terms of technology and input, surely this must be the better lens. Let's go check out and see if that's the case. Before we do that, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe and hit the bell, and you'll get updates as to every time that I upload a video. And of course, let me know in the comments down below if you'd like to see any particular comment. Now, let's get shooting. Okay, so I'm back. This time I'm at my laptop. I've taken the sets of photos on both the 14-30 f4 and the 14-24 2.8. I've loaded them into Lightroom, and let's have a look at what we have got. As you can see here, I've taken 6 shots, 2 with the 14-30 f4, 2 shots as far as I could, the same shots with the 14-24 at f4, and then the final 2 at 2.8. Now, these are straight out of camera, as best I could, as I said, the same shot. Now, to be completely honest, they're probably not the greatest photos you've ever seen. However, they all look pretty similar. My first reaction seeing the shots is they all look pretty similar, and you had to work very hard to try and find out if there were any differences. Now, one of the areas I did want to have a look at is in the corners, and I did notice some slight variances, but I found, and I'll zoom in here and I'll show you, at 100% you can barely tell. However, as you get closer, as you get towards 200 and 300%, you do see a noticeable difference. As you can see here, the buildings in the background are a little less sharp. When we go across at 300%, you'll see when we come across to the 14-24 2.8, you'll see that they are ever so much sharper. Now, it's a very minor matter, and you can have a look again. I did actually have quite a look in the corners as to whether or not I could find any other improvements, if you like, on the new glass, and to be honest, it's quite minor. At 1:1, you had to really get in quite tight. So let's have a look at this other image, and I just picked a rock in the background again. If you have a look at 1:1, you can barely tell, but as you get into 300%, here we are looking at the 14-30 f4. Now, I'll give you the same shot with the 2.8. There it is there. Now you can already see that the 2.8 shot at f4, mind you, is significantly sharper than the f4 14-30. Again, I'll go through the last images. These ones are shot at f4 to see if there is any noticeable differences. And you can see, again, same phenomenon, same image, newer lens, slightly sharper, older lens, not so much as sharp. So having done an exercise, I guess I am a little happy, if you like, that the newer lens that is significantly more expensive did beat in that test the older lens. But can I say, the difference was only very marginal, and it was at 300%. Now, the amount of times that you're taking an image and going in 300% is very, very limited. But I suppose that is a difference when you're paying the big dollars for the professional lenses. Not only are you getting that 2.8 wider aperture, but you're also getting sharper. And I think that's really important. Sometimes you can get caught up on faster glass, but ultimately this is a well put together lens. Does it justify the additional money over this lens? It's like 2 or 3 times, probably 3 times more expensive than this lens. That's a personal preference. And I'd like to hear from you. What do you think? Would you pay effectively 3 times as much for what is kind of a small difference? Let me know in the comments down below. But I was very keen to do that. I had to wait a long time for this lens to arrive. I guess I can now say that at a technical level, the 2.8 is a better lens than the f4. Is it more value for money? Well, that's up to you to work out. I'd hazard a guess to say most people would say it's not worth the additional dollars. However, I'm waving goodbye to this lens. It's been sold and it's off to a new owner, so I'm keen to give this one a shot. If you follow me on Instagram, I'll post some shots of the new 14-24 2.8, and you let me know what you think. Now, if you like this video, please hit the subscribe button and the bell to let you know when I've uploaded videos. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought of this lens. Hit the like button if you like this video. In fact, hit the dislike button. That also gives me feedback. But until next time, thanks for watching. I'm photoprotraveller. you.